Regular viewers of the channel know this story. I'm sure many of you have the same experience as I when it comes to this story. But one of the reasons I switched from console to PC was because of 30 FPS caps. That, like, 30 FPS caps literally were a main contributing factor to me switching to PC. And we hear a lot about 30 FPS caps because they're the thing that have seemingly followed console gaming around and refuse to let them go because it's an easy, convenient excuse for developers who don't want to properly optimize their experiences. So you have consoles that sell you on high frame rates and then never actually give you the high frame rates. Like, there's no reason for 30 FPS caps in 2025. That is absolutely ridiculous. This console generation was a complete scam. They sold you on 120. They sold you on 60 to 120 and you still have 30 FPS caps, and it's not even uncommon. This console generation scammed you. And it's one of the main reasons why a lot of people are switching to PC. Low frame rates absolutely kneecap the amount of fun you can have in a video game because it makes the experience less smooth, it makes the experience less responsive, and once you go to 60 and higher, you just can't go back to 30. It literally feels worse. It plays worse. And you see a lot of opinions like this one. This tweet went a little viral the other day. Maybe you've seen it, but it's from @MattDeck, who says, "I got tired of playing 30 FPS on my PS5 with a screenshot of him installing Red Dead 2 on Steam." And this tweet, we talk on this channel sometimes about certain posts being like the bat signal for console fanboys. This is probably the weirdest bat signal of the year so far, because I thought everyone was in agreement that Red Dead 2 not having a 60 FPS patch on the current gen consoles, I thought we were all in agreement that that was really stupid. I thought we were all in agreement that that was something that was lame. But in response to this tweet of someone pointing out that the game is still 30 FPS on the PS5, which, as of the time I'm recording this video, is true. We are 5 years into the PS5 generation, and this game still runs at 30 frames per second, despite it launching on the PS4 at 30 frames per second, despite it running at 1,000,000 frames per second on mediocre PCs. Like, console equivalent PCs are blasting through the 30 FPS cap. Like, it's not like the new consoles can't do it. This game runs at what, like 40, 45 on the Steam Deck? There's no technical reason why it can't be 60 frames. There's no monetary reason why it can't be 60 frames, because Rockstar makes buku bucks off this game every single year. And yet, they won't give you higher than 30 frames per second if you're playing the game on PS5. If a console player points out that it's lame, it's 30 frames per second, the console players will agree with them. But if someone who plays games on PC points out that it's lame, it's 30 frames per second on the console players apparently start arguing with this person. But since you can't say that 30 frames, oh, we don't care that it's 30 frames, like, the game feels great at 30 frames. They can't say that because they are the same ones asking for a 60 FPS patch. So how do they argue with you? Oh, easy. They deny the game is 30 frames per second at all. I'm not kidding. That's where we're at right now. That's how far we're digging to defend console gaming and all of its console gaming shenanigans. We are completely denying that the game is running at the frame rate it's running. Don't believe me? Let's read these responses, because this one was, this one made me vomit. Coney says, it's 60 on PS5. No, it's not. Person with really stupid name says, it's actually 60 FPS on PS5. No, it isn't, actually. It's literally not. War says, there is no difference in 30 and 60 FPS. Yes, there is. If you're playing a game at 30 frames per second, that means the image on the screen is refreshing 30 times in every second. If you're playing it at 60 frames per second, that means it's refreshing twice as fast. You are seeing your inputs and feeling your inputs twice as quickly. And in an interactive medium like video games, I think it's easy to understand why that would make the game feel better objectively. This isn't a debate anymore. We're not going to be like nice about it anymore because that's how corporations keep taking advantage of you. Like, we used to be like, oh, you know, it's a preference thing between 30 and 60 frames. No, it's not a preference. You're stupid stupid if you don't think 60 feels better, because it objectively feels better in video games. If you don't think 60 feels better, it's because you don't actually play or enjoy video games. Like, I'm putting my foot down on this one. I don't care anymore. There is absolutely a difference between 30 and 60. 60 is absolutely better than 30. And in an industry that is charging you more than ever for less than ever, I am going to flatten you in my driveway if you keep defending the one that is not better, because you keep making this industry worse than it has to be. Fix yourself or leave. I'm so tired of it. Dylan says, OMFG, does it matter? And then a gif of someone jerking off an invisible penis into their face, which I always think is funny when people post stuff like this, like as a dig. It's like, okay, so you're implying it's a bad thing to take a load into the face. You know, that's the reason why you're mockingly putting a picture of someone getting a load in the face. But you're the one that looked up images of people getting loads to the face. Like, you're the one that went looking for that. You're the one that went sifting through them, and then you're the one that ultimately decided on this one as being the best for the situation. So, for someone who thinks it's bad to get loads in the face, you sure do seem to have a lot of thought put into people getting loads in the face. Moving on. Jared says, I'm so glad I can't tell the difference. Go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. That's not a joke. If you genuinely cannot see the difference between 30 and 60 frames per second, like if you literally cannot tell the difference, go to the doctor. There's something wrong. That's not a joke. That's medical advice. Go to the doctor. You dunce. Tommy says, why do people care that much about 60 FPS? If the game is still performing nicely on 30 FPS, it's not a big deal. If the game is performing at 30 FPS, it's not performing nicely. End of story. That's the whole thing. That's the whole debate. Well, if the game's performing nicely at 30, impossible. That is the problem. If a game is running at 30 when 60 is an option and it's just not giving you that option and it's forcing you to play 30 instead, that is not running nicely. I don't care. A5 says, stop crying, have no problem on my PS4. Is that an offer? Stop crying, have no problem on my PS4. Okay, I'll take it. Mail it to me. I'll take it out to dinner. I'll put it in front of me at the table. We'll have a chicken parmesan together. I'm so sorry I said any of that. I don't know why I said any of that. Hey, idiot. Have you ever wanted a mouse pad that looks like this? Or a mouse pad that looks like this? Or a mouse pad with whatever you want on it? Novaproducts.gg. Code Joe from Seattle for a discount on a cool mouse pad with cool stuff on it, and the mouse pads feel really good, and you can do a custom mouse pad if you want. So you can make a mouse pad of just Tobey Maguire. Novaproducts.gg. Code Joe from Seattle. Drake says, but compare PC quality 60 FPS to PS5. The little number in the corner doesn't mean everything if it looks subpar. Are we really suggesting that it's difficult to make this game look as good as the PS5 version while running at 60? Are we really suggesting that that's a difficult thing to do? Because we really shouldn't be making that argument. Red Dead 2 runs very well on the PC. These are the recommended specs, by the way, for Red Dead 2. This is the recommended specs. Are we really suggesting that this game is difficult to make look and run well? Or at least look and run better than the PS5 version? I don't think that's the angle we should be taking here, Drake. I don't think this is it. Sebastian says PS5 Pro has been hitting stable 60 Hz in all games I have played, skipped PS4 Pro and PS5 base as most games on those ran at 30 Hz or had highly compromised 60 Hz mode. Hertz is not frame rate, Sebastian. Hertz is refresh rate. Frame rate is not refresh rate. They're two different things. Refresh rate and frame rate are not the same thing, Sebastian. We've been through this so many times with you, Sebastian. You specifically. Or not. I don't know. I've never seen you before. Your picture looks like the guy from Creed. Or just like you look like you would be in Creed. And I mean that in the most loving way possible. Deuce says FPS debate is so fucking wild. Like, do you even notice the difference? Again, if you genuinely cannot see the difference between 30 and 60, you need to see a doctor. Joe from Seattle Life Advice. Daniel Rubin says 30 FPS feels cinematic for RDR2. Great, then watch it on YouTube at 30 frames per second and give gamers the choice to play it at 60. If you really want it to feel cinematic by running worse, then give that option to people. Don't force it upon people. Also, if you think this game feels cinematic, like if we're defending 30 FPS, you just push me to believe that you've never played it at 60. Because see above point about how going back to 30 after playing 60, like how is it possible to not feel the difference in a positive way? Unless you truly do not care about how a game feels and you care more about how games look. In which case, I do not care about your opinion on video games, and the reasons should be self-evident. At Playa10 says you say that as if it's up to Sony to rectify that, lol. No, he didn't, though. He just said he was tired of 30 FPS on PlayStation, so he went to Steam. How is that him blaming Sony? The fact you're interpreting it that way kind of gives your hand away, if you know what I mean. One last one. Caleb Johnston says, okay, but how much did your PC cost? I mentioned earlier that this game runs on the Steam Deck at a higher frame rate than the PS5. You're like the last guy. If you're really making the argument that it's like hard to get this game running above 30 frames per second, or like there's like a big expensive tech barrier in order to make that happen, it's just not true. This game came out in 2018. There is zero reason it shouldn't be running at 60 frames per second, or at least give you the option to run it at 60 frames per second on a console from 2020, let alone the refresh of that console from 2024. There is zero reason why there shouldn't be a 60 FPS option, other than Rockstar laziness and Rockstar customer complacency. If you want freedom with your frame rates, you come to the PC. That's just the way it be. And if you truly don't care about frame rates, I ask you to withdraw yourself from the conversation about PC tech, about gaming tech, about benchmarks and performance and whatnot. If you don't care about performance and whatnot, stop trying to speak on behalf of the people that do care. You big stupid idiot. Okay, it's time for the Doofus Club shoutouts. I'm going to do Doofus Club shoutouts now, because you people make me so angry. No, not you guys. I love you guys. If you watched the video this far, I probably love you. Probably. Most likely. Okay, let's do the Doofus Club shoutouts. Okay, Partial Mean 8, Wild Gamer 3001, GWXS, Frito Sandwich, Doom Kaiju, Rasp the Wolf, Evan Co, Sad Your Freighter, OK Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, Carlos, Josue Hernandez, Jeremilo, Really Zerd, Gaming with Dead People, Banner Fondue, All Games Video, Mad Rocks 2682, Neon Alec, Max Co, AV2 Gaming, Biscuit 1101, Firestorm 2056, Yox New World, Texans at Joe, Pope Raphael the Rat King. I almost said it as Joe Raphael the Rat King. That's me. I'm Joe the Rat King. I'm made out of rats. Jessica Shepard, Joe, I'm sorry, I'm buying a MacBook and an iPhone. Ooh! Blast 1314, Riki Spiral, Riki Tiki Tabby, and Omega Muskie, Tech Man X. I misspelled Fredo and YT made me wait 14 days to fix my name. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Karimi the Steel Angel, Keep on Doofing, Smash Jump, Sergeant Jason Bond, Baron Von Vaderham, the Silver Dragon, Cyrus, Joe said it close enough, saving for a motorcycle, can only afford a month, True Texan 940, Sento Nakage, Devon, Baloo, Goose, Squibblue, Diggle, Squimblu, Hinoka's #1 Saudi fan, Creed Warrior 23, Max Chev, Totally Insane, Event out of Audrey, Black Cobra, Non Vorlav, Voxalto, Night of Cypher, Cloaked Onyx, Nick Ox, Reborn Muir with the fan art, Nix, ML04, I own 6 copies of Click 2006 on Blu-ray, What the Fan Art, Joe from Seattle's Fursuit Dealer, Wolf of Midnight, Sick Rider, The Cunt Connoisseur, Pig Venus, Kev Dog 1982, Steve Boy Studios, Film Crack, The Beastums, Owen Gaming, Tariq Brown, Tom from Spokane, Hero Culture, Elite, Joe from Seattle, has a really big peen, Thorn Skate, Mac and Neck, X Mac and a Gamma, Severin Evans, Mr. Spawning 03, It's the Catalina Frickin' Y, Mixer Pow Pow, Wide Trouble, Donnie Weston, Nick Donegan, Gob Gobson, Rogue Winter 919, Bobby Henner, The Doug Nigsy, Grimsy, Gesh Gush, Bijen, Shikievich, Hangman for Hire, Uldoon, The New Blue, Edge Knight 1789, Frost Crystal, Jimmy Chops, Biogenesis, Gabba P, Guy, Camso, Ian Action, Fabio Pingus 97, Michael Museo, Mega Key, Kushkir, The Scruffy Skull, Ghost Ho, Mount H, Ryusagi, DeJojo 6, Fast Growth, Fantango, Raptor Tim, Omnis Steph 94, Mr. Self-Destruct, Blue Hook, Willie JJ, 15,000 Wasps in a trench coat, waiting outside, General Accent, I am gay for Joe, Jody Breeze, The Almond God, J-Tex, Doom, Gameplay, Demetrius, Papa Giorno, Make Advertisement, Diogo Garcia, Hey, it's Manny, Kibbikins, Boofner, I American Idiot, Rebel Blood 80, Antoine Horton, Joe, plug the Discord right now, oh my god, it's discord.gg/doofus, Console Sims, Tears, Hen 5, Raven Bloodrod, also Joe, you're awesome, Justin Mab, Ren Roy, 20 Wayne, The Highlander was a documentary, Extreme Wolf 7, Joey Scoops, Puddintain, Joe Taku, I'm the Decoy from JTech TV's Doom Video, Help, Geekstar, Wannabe Hobo, Jidge, Westa, Billet 310 Char, Rob Z, Veg, The Groovy Banana, Curtin Allen's back at the Scrum Master, some experts say Joe is a furry. Oh goodness, that was a lot of them. There's a lot of you now. There's a lot of you now, and I love you all. Okay, I'm gonna get this one edited up, and ready to go. Edited up and ready to go. I'm so sorry. Toodles.